Okay, here we are, third and final part of the 3D printed wall light. Here I'm just cutting off a length of cable. I'm not an electrician, so my advice to you would be always to get somebody who is a qualified electrician to wire these up for you. And as I've said previously, make sure that the bulbs you use are low heat LEDs. Here I just put a little bit of solder on the end of each of the wires so they don't splay out when they're captive underneath the nut. You don't have to do this, but I do it just to stop it from spreading out all over the place with wires everywhere. And that's it fitted onto the bulb holders. These bulb holders are ceramic and again available from Home Depot, and you'll find them on Amazon.com. I left a link below in the list. There's a couple of covers go over this, like an insulating cover and then the metal cover on top. Difficult to see with this close up, my hands keep getting in the way, sorry about that. You see on the right there's a little bit of threaded tube that has to go in the thread on the back of this holder. And what I do is I tend to thread them through first into the lamp housing and then put that thread onto the wire and let it flow down and screw it in through the back of the lamp holder. Hopefully you can see that in the next clip. I do this on a soft foam pad so that I don't scratch the finish on the lamp holders, on the light holders. I found this the easiest way to assemble them is basically to put them through without this threaded tube on and then put it on afterwards. Goes in pretty easily, and I tighten it up afterwards with a set of pliers. Then really all that remains is to, I put the bulbs in to stop the holder from twisting around while I'm working on it. You don't have to do this, but it stops it twisting around a little bit. When you've finished you have to straighten it up anyway. Make sure the lights are not touching the side. As I said previously a number of times now, as long as you're using cool LED lights, then you'll have no problem with melting or fires. But don't, whatever you do, use tungsten lights because they're too hot for these plastic holders. Careful not to damage the thread when you do this. That actually just tightens it up and makes sure it doesn't twist around too much. Now just separating the parts for the backing plate or the support plate. How you mount this on the wall will very much depend on the sort of holder you have already in your wall. At the end of this video I show a close-up of the plates that I'm using, and again there are links in the description to buy those. But I'm putting it in a new room with all new electronics or electric wiring, so the plates are pretty standard. Difficult to see again because my big arm's in the way, but tightening that nut up on the back holds it all securely in place. I'm just putting these on temporarily, just so they don't get lost. And maybe I'll do a video at a later stage to show how I mount these on the wall. But every house is different, every state is probably different, and certainly every country is different. Different holders, different inserts on the wall, so you'll have to tailor yours to suit your particular application. If you want, you can even change the size of the STL file, but bear in mind that everything you do will have to be gauged on that particular size, and also the lights that I use are specifically sized to fit this STL file. So if you make it larger or smaller, you may have to change the size of your lights, because what you don't want is them touching the sides. And that's pretty much it. In some of these shots you could see the textured finish I put on the outside. That was achieved literally by spraying about 2 feet away with a semi-matte or semi-gloss finish, and it put on a stippled finish. It takes a bit of doing. It's not a straightforward process, but it does produce a very nice finish and covers up a lot of the lines and blemishes that you see on normal STL prints. Those are the holders that I'll be using, or the adapters I'll be using in my wall holders or wall sockets. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you back here on the next Fantasy Forge video. Take care.